Can I keep Kitty or should
You
I
can
say
keep the
her?
cat. We are live, by the way.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Yeah,
Oh,
keep the
hello.
cat. I told you, she's my favorite orange cat.
Give
She's
her a minute
open.
to start meowing really loudly.
Yeah, she's a talker.
Yeah.
So, my name is John Parker with Compass, joined by my co-host, Fred Bloom with Compass as well. And today we have some special guests. We are chatting with the owners of F45 Encinitas Central and F45 Oceanside. Does that have a special Oceanside Central, Coastal?
Oceanside Pier.
Pier. Okay. And that's
Perfect.
opening in early summer, right?
Whenever this is
Yeah.
over.
Sooner the better, hopefully.
Or-
But yeah, give you guys the floor. Just maybe talk about your background. You guys can go, maybe Steph can start first, and just where you're from, what you did before F45 and how you got into fitness and all that stuff.
Yeah. So real quick, I'm from Wisconsin, and I moved west to snowboard and did that professionally for a little while. And when I got injured, I moved out here because I love surfing and kind of thought this would be like the next best place. And we had family down here and stuff, so we moved down, and I was bartending. I had been a bartender before and did that right when I moved out here, and I was definitely like just bummed on like how my body was with this injury, and a lot of French fries in the back in the kitchen. So I was like, I need to find something that's better for me, like that's going to keep me healthy instead of just like bartending at night. Like kind of switch like my little side job to something with fitness would be awesome. And I came across a post that Jesse and my other boss had posted on Craigslist, and it was just like asking for people with sales experience or real estate that have like also like a sports background, stuff like that. So I'm
Really
like
random
reading
combo.
yeah, and I'm like, well, this is me. Like these are all things I've been part of. And so I went in, had an interview with Jesse, and they ended up hiring me. And so that was for like a kickboxing, cardio kickboxing place. And so that's where leading into where me and Jesse met. But I'll let you go.
What do you got, Jess? What do you got?
All right, so I'm from Arkansas, as you can tell from my accent.
Wisconsin and Arkansas, geez.
Arkansas. So when I got out of high school, I joined the Marine Corps, and I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years, and I got out in 2016. I got my personal trainer cert and a couple other certs while I was still in. And then when I got out, I started doing kickboxing, and then I was doing personal training, going to massage school. And yeah, so once I got out of, like, me and Steph, we met during kickboxing. I think the kickboxing studio was open for, I don't know, like we were there for like 4 months before it closed down. And then I just kind of took a break, was using my GI Bill, just going to school, chilling out for a while. And then Steph had kind of moved over to F45. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go get hired as a trainer. And then I went in for an interview at F45 and ended up getting hired as the sales manager and marketing manager. And then that's kind of how we all led into F45.
And how many years ago was this when you guys kind of reconnected at F45?
I think two and a half.
3.
Yeah.
Well, we were with F45 La Jolla and Hillcrest, so we worked for those boys for like 2.5 years, or I did. So it's been about like maybe 3.5, almost 4, 3.5 years, probably.
Yeah.
And did you guys, click instantly? Did you see yourself kind of teaming up at some point, or was at that point it was just a friendship that you guys worked together?
Oh no, we broed hard.
I've loved Jessie, like from the moment we met. She was just like cool, down to earth chick, and she's smart too. And like when we were working at the F45 in La Jolla, we obviously, like, I loved it. Like this was like a new thing. I was super passionate about it. It changed my life. Like I had lost personally like around 30 pounds from like gaining weight with my injury, and then like it was just totally changed my life. So I was like, approached Jesse one day, and I was like, if we like could start something like this, like, would you be interested? And she was like, yeah. And then it was literally, we just fell into it. Like I was like just poking around, seeing what would happen or what was available. And then all of a sudden they were like, okay, here's your territory, and here's your, okay, now pay us. And we were like, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Very cool. And so obviously we're dealing with some stuff right now with the coronavirus and sort of strange times. And I think it would be, very insightful. And I'm curious what you guys are doing to sort of sustain right now and keep your business up and running and pay the bills in this, in this economic environment.
Sure. So basically we, as soon as we heard everything was going down, like we started getting people calling in that were concerned, wanting to pause memberships and stuff like that. And, basically like didn't really know how serious it was going to get until the 19th when they did decide to close all the gyms and stuff like that. So we were like, wow, well, this can't last long. We were like, the economy can't take it. Like this, hopefully it's just
going to shut down for months.
Right. Exactly. We were like, yeah, 2 weeks, maybe 3, like whatever, like we'll see what they say. And then as we got into it, like a week or so in, and we were like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. So, just, it was a slow, like trying to figure out exactly what we were going to do, but we didn't want to stop giving our members what, they were paying for, what they wanted, like just because this has all happened, like we basically wanted to try and find a way to bring people movement and bring people like workouts to their home. And just slowly kind of progressed from there. And
so you've started doing online workouts and online Zoom classes where the members that used to come in could join you online and work out from home. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we it was funny. It kind of switched every single day as like everything progressed. Like I think the very first day it's like, okay, we're going to do these workouts in the park. And then it was like, all right, parks are shut down. It's like, all right, we're doing these live Instagram calls and then are these live Instagram workouts. And then we didn't think that was personal enough. So now we've moved over to the Zoom classes. And this is the first week I felt like we've really gotten those dialed in. We've been doing like three a day and getting maybe like 10 to 15 members per class, which is cool. Like see everyone's faces and just be able to interact with everyone on that basis. And then I will say F45 as an actual franchise has done really well with kind of giving everyone options and putting out their own online workouts as well, which has been really cool. So our members are getting a couple of different options. They can work out with us, or if they want to, we're also recording all of our workouts, and then they can always go back and watch the videos later.
So obviously, I mean, I'll touch on that. I mean, that's great that you guys are still adding value to your clients. I mean, a lot of businesses, not only just gyms, but you hear about the news, like the restaurants are getting bled out, the hotels, the airline workers. That's what you always hear in mainstream media. They're not really talking about fitness too much, right? And obviously, it's such a right now everyone's so scared about getting sick, and then people that are sick, and there's immunocompromised and older people. This is probably more now than ever is where you need to be focused on your health, not only your diet but also fitness. And people are kind of seeing this as, I'm going to stay home and eat chips all day and watch TV, which is give yourself a day or two, feel bad for yourself if people lost their jobs, but you got to keep moving, right? And there's a lot of climates in the U.S. right now that are not 70 and sunny. It's still kind of the end of winter going into spring. And, so for you guys, was that part of it? Did you guys think, we should, double down right now and try to bring as much value, not only to our members, but also try to maybe bring in new people and maybe even add to your business during this downfall?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like this community is incredible in a way that like I would go nuts personally if I didn't have some sort of workout or some sort of F45 workout to do every day. And it has become like a normal thing that we kind of all share together. So, it's definitely something that I know everybody wants to continue. And it's just it's that motivation factor. And then it's also like getting people to show up, getting motivated, making sure that they're staying accountable. And that's kind of what we wanted to provide. So we wanted to make sure that they had a place to come and do that, and felt like we still cared and felt like we still wanted to, be a part of that journey for them, even though, yeah, definitely shook up the bear a little bit, but we, wanted to make sure that we did that for them. So.
And this is kind of maybe a loaded question because we're still so early in on this, and we're all hopeful that tomorrow we'll be back and running, right? We want this sooner than later. But was this maybe a blessing in disguise for you guys from a macro picture, meaning that, before your main focus was in studio, the traditional model of, actually being at the gym, right? And that's running classes that way. Is this maybe accelerated your thought process? And, we can also do that, but also have another revenue stream beyond this by continue doing virtual workouts and packaging them and, maybe selling them to the broader market, or having virtual members that are not near F45. Like F45 is still a growing company. I've been in plenty of cities in the US that don't have F45s, right? So maybe there's areas where like, wow, I love this type of workout, but there's no gyms in my area that offer this. Is this maybe for you guys something you see that you could benefit even when this is back to normal? Do you think you keep it going on the virtual side?
I definitely think so. I think that's the one thing that when all this first started, we were like, okay, looking at a positive standpoint, like this has really pushed us into like this creative zone of how are we going to like progress through this situation. And us being able to do these online workouts has just shown us exactly how you said, like this other avenue and like this other resource of revenue that we can now put into the gym. I think we have one girl right now who's doing the workouts in Argentina. And it's just crazy. Like we have friends from back home, Steph and me both, that, hey, aren't here in California who can't be here to work out with us. There's not an F45 anywhere near them, but they're tuning in and getting these workouts with us. So they feel like they're a part of our community, even though they're not actually in the studio with us. So, and I think it's going to be really cool to kind of keep that going and figuring out how we're going to be able to incorporate these live workouts and these at-home workouts still when we are back in the studio. And then also using that, like, people come in and, there's always that objection of buying a membership. Is it too expensive? Is it just not like compatible with your schedule at that point? And this is another, source for them as well. It's like, if, you're not able to make it to the gym, if you just can't afford it, like here's this option that you can do from, the comfort of your own home.
Mm-hmm. It definitely widens the people that we can bring in to the community, you know what I mean? And from a price standpoint, and then also from like a travel standpoint. So yeah. People traveling, always ask us to like, oh, will you take a picture of the TVs and send us the workout? You know what I mean? It's like, this is something that's easily accessible for them too. So yeah, like Jesse said, it's just really pushed us out of our comfort zone and into like a whole new realm of thinking. And, and I'm actually pretty grateful for it. It's, even though it's stressful and it's rough, like that you got to find like those little positives. So
yeah, I mean, I'm glad you guys,
yeah, finding some positive in a pretty overall sad situation. Last question for you guys: do you have any advice for maybe small business owners that are, looking for direction or unsure, what the future holds? What would you guys say to, a small business owner, maybe somebody that just started a gym, a restaurant, something like that?
I think from the side of actually like what we've been doing with the workouts and stuff, it's just like try everything. I think that's like we were constantly testing out new things every day. And one awesome things I've seen come out of this is like the community of like fitness has really come together. And like we're in a couple of fitness groups as far as like F45 and some other groups on Facebook, and like the amount of resources people are putting out there for each other and just being able to ask other people questions. Like we've reached out to other F45 studios, like especially the local ones around us. We're all trying to like help each other and do the same thing. So I would say just help, like ask if you need help, reach out. And then like Steph, you can kind of speak a little bit more on all the resources that we have right now.
Yeah. Well, we've talked to like some physio guys and, some yoga, like trying to bring everything kind of together at this point, like to bring value to our clients and, also like a good, offense is a good defense. So like making sure that beforehand, like we weren't ready for something like this, but we were ready in case we had to, like, we had the reserves to kind of set ourselves up and make sure that we could get through a couple months of some hard times if that did happen. So, hindsight's 20/20, but like from day one, something like this happens and you just kind of got to make the best of it and roll with the punches and try not to give up, basically. So
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a hard lesson for a lot of business owners that maybe didn't plan or budget well, and they thought everything was going great, the economy was going great, which it was. So they didn't maybe feel a need to have that safety net. But obviously, we're going through these times that hopefully never comes back again. But having that, you said safety net and reserves in place, as smart business owners should, right? No matter what you're doing, restaurants, gym, has obviously helped you guys. It's giving you guys flexibility to try different things, right? If you're like, wow, we need to make money today, you'd be pulling your hair out, be like, you know what, we can try different things and do it right and actually give a good product versus just trying to, flood the market with different things. And I think another thing you touched on is mindset of abundance, right? Like you're teaming up with other F45s that, if they do well, it doesn't bring you money, right? You're competing, but the same idea, you're in the same fitness world, right? And you guys more minds together, brainstorming is obviously bringing a better product and more money to you guys from a broader picture. So it's pretty awesome to see you guys come together as a community.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And last thing, I know you guys have a new gym opening up soon here, so give us your best plug, and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah, anybody in Oceanside area that has eaten way too many chips during this quarantine, we got your back. Come into Oceanside Pier.
Downtown, yeah.
Downtown. And also Encinitas Central, it's on the 101. That's where I go. I walk it every morning. It's an awesome location. It's like 2 minutes off the 5 highway and 10-minute drive from Solana Beach and 10-minute drive from Carlsbad. So it's super central. But yeah, thanks guys for coming on today.
Of course. Thanks, John. Thank you, Fred.
Thanks, Freddie.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.